Hello, Gunpla fans. Today it's Speedball Haro, and today for you guys, I have for you from the Hathaways Flash anime. I have the high grade Universal Century Gustav Karl Type Double O. And hold on, wait, I just got a notification, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. And oh, oh my, it seems there's been a substitution. I have for you today not the Type Double O, but the GIHREN'S Greed Gustav Karl, and that's from the not the OVA as mentioned. This is from the GIHREN'S Greed video game, from what I know. Yeah. Now, of course, as you can clearly tell, the color scheme is very different from its unicorn counterpart. Yeah, though it is very similar to that of its Hathaway's counterpart, the Type Double O, which is, of course, why this kit was reissued when P Bandai listed the Messers with it. Hmm. Why make the kit when you can just make a substitute, right, guys? Okay, but seriously, no. Today we're checking this guy out, and I do have to say, for a big, bulky grunt from the Federation's forces, this is definitely actually a pretty cool kit. I mean, you think big and chunky, there's probably some flaws with it or something. No, I didn't really have any problems with this guy. I mean, looks nice. Definitely like the bulk. I mean, seriously, this is almost the Universal Centuries version of the Virtue. I just like every time I look at it, it's like, oh man, that's the Virtue. Oh no, we know it's not. Okay. But as you can see, it's an awesome Fetty grunt if you're a fan of them, especially. Love the and before I forget to mention it, if you are wondering, the premium gimmick to this kit, to that of its unicorn version, besides of course the color scheme, pretty much the main difference this kit has to its unicorn version is the shoulder here. More specifically, the shield setup. No joke, that's the honest truth, because originally, if you have the Gustav, you'll know, but if not, the actual kit is supposed to have an arm attachment right here on the backpack. So I'm trying to get the light in. Right there, that attaches here where the shield would be like this on the back, and of course you can adjust it to go on the other side. But no, but this version, of course, doesn't do that. This has a setup right here on the shoulder that allows the joint here to simply just rotate. Simple, easy, and of course fun for display purposes. So yeah, that's literally the premium gimmick tree to this kit, or at least this version. So yeah, is there any flaws to that? No, I think that's a pretty cool gimmick, especially if you like shoulder setups for weapons and such. Now, of course, since it is a P Bandai kit and HG, we all know usually that means there's got to be some problems or some big issues like stickers and such. Well, I can show you right here, as you can see. These are the stickers you'd have to use for this guy. So yeah, there's a number of stickers that actually isn't that bad compared to other P Bandai kits I know with stickers. This is actually pretty normal. In fact, I can tell you that's normal because, and this is the funny part, this is actually the exact same sticker sheet as the unicorn version, and I can tell you that because if you look right there, it literally says it, Gustav Karl unicorn version. This is literally the unicorn sticker sheet, just thrown in the box. But it's an easy take care of, no big deal. And pretty much all they are for, of course, as you can see here, for the legs, sensors, and that's it. Oh, and of course this small part right here on the V-fin. That's it. That's all the sticker points on this guy. So yeah, for a P Bandit kit and for high grade, that's not bad. That's easy to handle, easy to take care of, and especially for a big guy like this that you would think would need a lot more like paint work on it. No, that's pretty simple, pretty good. And I like that fact because it didn't take me too long to detail him up, as you can see. In fact, the one thing I can advise, because it was fun to do, and if I can get the head in there, I hope I can, guys. If you can't see it, what I did with this kit, because it has a pre-molded eye sensors behind the pink visor you see, I used a little silver in there, so this way when light reflects off it, you can actually see the eye sensors themselves. I thought that was pretty cool, and I would recommend that idea for you instead of just using like some sticker over the visor. It's pretty cool this way, actually. All right. So yeah, other than that, I had no major issue with this kit. I mean, nothing's fallen off, nothing's broke when I built it, and pretty easy to detail up and so on. So yeah, and now of course, what leftovers do you get with this kit? Well, not much. As if you were thinking of there was a lot more. No, I mean you just get your normal polycap leftovers, The, of course, beam sabers, the standard in every high grade known in existence beam sabers. Let's see. Oh, of course, you do have a standard right holding hand for the beam sabers, which I'll show in a minute. For some weird reason, you get an extra hand cover, but no actual hand to go on with it. I mean, cool. It's just that it's just leftovers. Now, of course, due to the gimmick tree of the GIHREN'S version, you do get, however, an extra shoulder setup. Though, of course, you still need to take certain parts off the custom version here to finish this one. And that's only because this is actually the standard shoulder that you would have gotten here. So if you wanted to, of course, and you took off the right parts, you can have a symmetrical shoulder setup. The only difference is, unfortunately, guys, you don't have the parts to display the shield on the backpack. You would specifically, I'll show you right here, these ones from that you see here from the, maybe I'll just do it this way. There we go. The standard parts you'd need for the backpack here, and unfortunately this kit does not come with them. So sorry, guys. Ooh. But I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, a lot of people would probably just like take this off and like maybe mount a missile setup here, or just leave this on and have it displayed like this. I think that's a cool looking pose that to put it in. In fact, I think that's pretty cool, because then it has a defense setup. Because as we all know, unfortunately, the Gustav has the tendency of lasting less than a minute in most of the animes he's appeared in. And I can tell you that because, well, I'm pretty sure you've all seen Unicorn, Narrative, and of course Hathaway. In fact, it's the Hathaways version that did the best out of all of them. So, yeah, that's saying something. Not being in the bad way, I'm just saying the Gustav sadly seems to be the go-to let's blow it up gun mobile suit. 7. All right. Let's see. Let's go into articulation now, guys. Head is a simple setup, just like any other, with a cool neck joint. And of course, you can go all the way. I just twisted head. You can do that, of course. Arm articulation is pretty cool on this one because you, of course, have the full 360. You do have shoulder mobility up to here. And you can, of course, adjust the shoulder armor to accommodate elbow bend, arm twist, of course, standard ball joint hand, of course. And the gimmick to this kit in general is this, if I can get it to come out. There it is. The shoulder has an extra joint setup so you can actually extend your reach. That's pretty cool. So the only problem, though, like you just saw, is because of how this is, the bolt joint is just so smooth here. It doesn't grip to the actual plastic joint in here. So when you try to pull it out all the way and use the joint, it's gonna pop out. So I mean, it's nothing like you can't fix or anything. It's just that it just. I mean, you can pull out the shoulder joint and such to do that, but when you try to lift it upwards to actually bend this up, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it always pops it out no matter how many times I try, and I have tried that many times. You'd have to, just fiddle with that and, work on that and such. Though, of course, that's just how it is, unfortunately. Let's see. Leg articulation. Let's see. Move this up. Can go, yeah, that far, and the back skirt doesn't move, so, yeah. He doesn't have the best leg, extends, but, of course, he does have thigh articulation, so you can twist the thigh pretty well, actually. That's not bad. And you can go about this high, except though because of how thick the leg is, yeah, it's gonna fall down a bit. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Now, the only thing that honestly surprised me with the articulation with this guy is the waist, and that's because he has none. Literally, this is all you can do. Yeah, I know that doesn't look good in the sense it's not, but I mean, to be fair, it's big, bulky, and the way the armor is set up on this guy, I didn't expect him to go all the way around or something like that. I didn't. But his ankle is pretty cool. I mean, you got all this. You can actually extend his foot out. That's interesting. So yeah. And of course, and you can, of course, if you come back here, if you push this down, you do have a better knee joint. See? That's something. Oh, and what you guys just heard me drop, that was my fault, was just a vernier part that goes right there. My apologies. So there's that. Oh, and before I forget, the one fun gimmick this kit has is, of course, his missile pod wrist. That's one thing I like about the Gustav. It has that cool wrist setup. We don't have a lot of mobile suits with this kind of weapon setup. We should. We really should. And of course, the last weapon gimmick he has is where he can store his beam sabers. This part is really cool about this kit because you can actually store it in the side skirts. Where a lot of times when a kit like that, like high grade wise, has a beam saber gimmick set up like this, it's it doesn't. You can't actually put it in there. So yeah, but of course this stays on all the way even if you pull it out this far. And the beam saber easy to pop out. Ooh, watch out though, you can knock this off its track. But easy to put back on. And of course, we just take the standard beam sabers. And there you go. And just plop it in his hand. And let's see if he can survive a Justa attack with this, guys. What do you think, huh? What do you think his chances are? All right. And that's pretty much it. A pretty understandable setup for a Federation Grunt. Yeah, it's a fun kit, definitely. Oh, and before I forget, let's do some comparisons. And since we're talking about fitties, let's go with the GM Custom with our Gustav Karl. Here's a Xeon Zugak. And, of course, being it's Hathaway related, the Messer F-02. Yeah, I think these are like the only two that match up pretty well for grunt-wise. And, oh, and a quick update, you will be seeing a video soon on this guy. And lastly, of course, since we're talking about Hathaway, the RX 105. You gotta have these two displayed. So yeah, that's it, guys. It's a simple grunt. Definitely a fun grunt for Fetty fans, and if you need some, expendable grunts to display with. Now, okay. So lastly now is, would I recommend this guy? Okay, let me put it to you in this light. Would I recommend the Gustav Karl mold? Yes. So I would totally recommend either version, because like I showed you, it's all fun. But do I recommend specifically the GIHREN'S Greed version? I mean, I myself had no problem with it. I mean, I like the fact it's a nice blue because I like blue, and I like custom variations, so that's another reason I bought it. And the main reason I bought it, as you can see how I have this set up, is I wanted some grunts for the Hathaways movie to build, and well, as you've seen here, we didn't get a Type 00 yet, and of course I have a Messers, so I needed someone to fight. So this was the closest, as I stated at the beginning, substitute we had for the Type 00. So yeah, but do I recommend it? I'd say sure, but since it is a game-based P Bandai exclusive, and I've learned from previous ones, they don't get reissued too often. So, I mean, I could definitely say check them out, but please don't, like go up for like 50 or more for money-wise. I mean, if you have to pay over $50 for this, no, just get the retail version. It's the same kit pretty much, just minus the shoulder setup. That's it. And to be honest, we all know eventually we will get a Type 00, because the fact is, that's, like I've been stating, this is why they made this the substitute here, because the Type 00 is very similar in color scheme and such, and all they'd have to do with this is just remold the head, the big shoulder sticker here for the shield, because, yeah, they'd have to, and that's it. And pretty much either retail it or P-Band it due to the, kid reasons, would be when we get a Type 00. When we'll get one, I have no idea, guys, unfortunately. If I had to guess, well, we all know for the next Hathaways movie, when it does become around, we all know that, of course, the 105 and 104 will be, of course, reissued and such, and same with the Messer. So we know for a fact they're probably going to try to pop out one or two more new kits to join the line, so we might get the Type 00 then, maybe? I mean, like I said, this is just my own thoughts, guys, guess. So yeah, my best guess. Sorry, guys. It's just hard to think with this one, but yeah, I would recommend the kit in general, but for this version, if you can get it at least close to retail value, would be my best suggestion, because if you have to do it for more, no. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope you're all doing good, or all safe. and enjoying your hobbies as always. And of course, I always thank you for coming. And like I mentioned, you will of course be seeing soon my current Hathaway builds after this one. And lastly, I thank you all for coming.